Well, I have seen some terrible animated films lately, haven't I? On the topic of bad animated films, one of the ones that is not spoken much about is Space Chimps. I really liked this film as a kid, but for some reason my DVD player didn't like playing it, so I didn't watch it as much as I would have liked to. Maybe it was giving me a sign to stop watching it. This movie is quite hated to say the least, and it didn't do well at the box office, but I remember it being quite funny. It has Andy Samberg and Joe Swanson in it, so it can't be that bad surely. It was made by the animation company Vanguard, who haven't made anything I've ever fucking heard of, but you know, maybe it will be good. Barry Sonnenfeld produced it. Hey, Men in Black was a good film. And the director is Kurt D'Amico, who did Ruby Gillman. Right, that's not promising. So without further ado, let's put in the DVD and see if it's any good. So the story is that the Andy Samberg chimp is the grandson of the first chimp in space. He is an idiot circus performer who gets taken to NASA to complete this space mission in search for life in the galaxy. Yeah, a bit stupid premise, I know. Well, one thing to mention about this movie is the animation, and to be fair, it's actually not that bad. For a film from 2008, from an animation company that exactly 2 people have heard of, it's completely fine. Some of the background characters do look terrible, but to be fair, a lot of animated films around that time had that issue. What isn't fine in this movie is the character designs on the aliens. What the hell is this? They look like highlighters. Can we tone down the brightness on these aliens? Jesus Christ. I mean, Ruby Gillman had some shocking character design, so I'm actually not that surprised. The main bad guy called Zartog is pretty much a Shrek ripoff. They for sure did that shot on purpose. And how can he instantly control a high-tech NASA space probe? For some reason he hates everyone else on the planet, and pretty quickly resorts in mass genocide and enslaves his people. Bloody hell mate, chill out. The movie never explains why he's so messed up. He just seems a bit grumpy. The pacing of this film is one of its strongest points. It's a bit too quick at the start and I literally couldn't process what was going on at times. But a lot of these low tier animated films have awful pacing, and they just drag on and on and on. Space Chimps doesn't have this, and maybe because the film actually isn't that bad. The story itself is your standard sci-fi affair, with a generic villain, but the actual Space Chimps themselves are serviceable enough. Andy Samberg is okay, when he isn't trying to sexually harass the woman chimp. And it's a shame that the Patrick Warburton chimp isn't given much to do in this film. He's clearly giving it all in this movie, but there isn't much substance. The movie throws a lot of jokes at you, and I do mean a lot. And to be honest, they range from baby humour.
I am Titan, I am strong!
No one wants to sing along. Get a life, 1, 2.
Reference humour.
Remember, no Bucks, no Buck Rogers.
I love Buck Rogers.
Who is Buck Rogers?
Titan! Are you David Bowie?
No.
Some actual decent lines.
Oh boy, I picked a bad week to quit eating bananas.
And some flat out weird moments.
Bigger than mine?
It's not the size of the beast, it's what you do with it that matters, my lord.
I have no words for that one. What the fuck? The actual resolution is a bit bullshit. Like, all of the little aliens could have easily overthrown Zartog. The guy literally has 0 friends because he is such an asshole. Just use the pterodactyls and just stab him or something. I also like how they clearly can't afford copyrighted music, so they just make very similar sounding tracks to real life bands.
Listen and learn, Zelig. The PR-513I is a high-performance, all-purpose space exploration.
To be honest, I enjoyed this movie way more as a kid, but now it's just average. I genuinely don't see how it's on a level with the worst animated films. At least it doesn't bore you to death and is trying hard to make you laugh. And again, it doesn't normally succeed, but the film is far from being cringy. I can't really recommend it though, as it's so mid. Like, watch it if you really want to, but if you go in with the absolute lowest expectations, you may be a little bit surprised.